pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The Lincoln County Commission, regular session, March 20th, 2014, 6 p.m. Members present, Darrell Baker Clerk, K.K. Matthews President, Charles Banks Commissioner, Charles McCain Commissioner. The meeting is called to order in Napper. I need a motion to approve the minutes of the regular session of the Lincoln County Commission meeting that was held March 6, 2014, 6 p.m.
I move we approve the minutes. Is that an all yes? Yes. Motion carries. All right, now we're into the public comment section. And first off, we have Steve Stewart from AEP.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to come before you this evening. Just wanted to give you a little update. I've told you the last couple of times I've been out here that we have been working on a plan with the Public Service Commission to enhance our right-of-way trimming. And just this week, we finally got a ruling on that order. And in the past, we've been spending about $14 million to $17 million, somewhere in that range, on tree trimming each year. And with this order, we'll be able to spend $58 million a year. That's going to be, especially in rural areas like this, will really, we think, help tremendously. And won't ever keep, anything from ever happening, but it will slow those problems down. And then also, if we do have an outage, it'll help us get it back on a lot quicker, because we'll be able to get to the areas, and it won't be all the brush growing up and that kind of thing. But we think that this really will benefit our customers. And, for around $2 a month is what the effect will be on the customer's bill. So I think it'll be well worth it to have the reliability. With that, I'll answer any questions you all may have.
Any questions? Mr. McCain? Hey, I just want to say I really appreciate what you are doing. We've had a lot of bad weather this year, and it seems like we haven't had a lot of power outages.
Well,
we haven't heard a lot about it.
We appreciate that, and one of the things we are doing too is just like about 3 weeks ago when we expected to have a huge ice storm, we had 600 contract line crews here, or linemen here, and 300 more on the way, and we were very lucky that it changed to freezing rain and got away from the ice a little quicker than we expected, so we were able to send them on home. But, we do plan to do those things.
I noticed there are a lot of people like in the area already, and I think that saves at least a couple of days just from having to try to move them in once it's happened. But I thought it was really. I was down Barbersville, and I noticed a lot of the trucks and things were down in that area and things like that, in different areas. In fact, it was over G too. And I think that saves. Having went through in that days of power outages, sometimes if you've got people there that can address it, which you guys have seen, you're doing a really good job of that.
Right.
Because I think that could have been a lot worse than what happened, but at least you had people already on the ground
Right.
to take care of most of these areas. So
Right.
we appreciate it.
Thanks. Well, one thing that this vegetation management plan will do is will get us back on a 4-year cycle, which means all of our transmission distribution system, except for our secondary, will be trimmed at least every 4 years. And it'll take about 6 years for us to catch up, and then it'll be on a 4-year cycle after that. And the way we have to do it now is, we just kind of have to spend the resources where it's the worst. And kind of putting out one fire here and one fire there, and really you don't do a whole lot of good that way.
That's right. Hey, I
Appreciate it.
appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right, next, Bercy Sims. Welcome, Bercy.
Thank you. I'm here.
You get one, you get one. You got that, you got that. That's exactly it. Here goes you.
I'm here regarding the the new public water district that was formed, 330-2207. I don't understand, I cannot find anything, Public Service Commission, Secretary of State, it just doesn't exist any place except on the Lincoln Public Service District's website. I pulled you have the,
I got a question. That's the public service district for the Route 10, the Route 3.
Route 3, that's the new district I've asked a couple of times when I was here, and nobody seemed to have any answers on it. So I pulled the code. It has to be formed. It's a pretty clear cut. It has to be formed by the Lincoln County Commission. So nobody could ever even tell me where the number came from. It's not listed on the Secretary of State. I can pull every other one in the state, but not the 330-2207, because it says it is a creation of a district by the county commission for creating a district, enlarging, reducing, merging, dissolving, consolidation, arrangements, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It says the county commission of any county may propose the creation, enlarge it, reduce it, merge it, whatever, on its own motion, or upon the recommendation of the Public Service Commission, or by 25% of the registered voters in that municipality of where the district is. That's the only way they can be formed. So I'm asking, how did this new district get created? No, it's a mystery. Nobody knows about it, and
Charles, do you know anything about it?
Well, I don't know about a new district, I just remember Lincoln PSD expanding their district, coming to commission and doing that, and to take in Route 3.
I went through bonds and all the little districts, and there's tons. There's probably, in the last bond, there's probably 30 pages of enlarging and everything of that, but there's absolutely, of all the other districts that was ever formed, but there's nothing on this one. And according to the website, it was formed in 2011.
2011, and the way it looks to me, it would have to be made by the county commission.
It can only be done by the county commission.
So we would have to have this in our files somewhere where there was action that was taken.
So basically, your FOIA request is for what information we have.
How it was created, the orders on that, right?
Orders on that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bruce. All right.
Mary, did you get a copy of this FOIA?
Yes.
Okay.
Any idea of the month, just the year?
2011.
That's all it's got? Okay.
All right.
Could I throw in, make it muddier maybe?
Yeah, we always like that. Well,
That's,
you never trample the waters.
Ryan and I visited the Public Service Commission to talk about the wastewater project, because they control water and wastewater. At that point, it was after 2011, they were very hesitant to create any new district.
That's right.
They don't want more districts out there.
They encourage you to
Not
merge
to
or
do that.
resolve.
So, I mean, my guess is maybe this wasn't ever created.
Right. Well, it does, because they have, not only that, it has to be sanctioned by, it has to go through the Public Service Commission
I mean,
process.
we talked about different public service districts that might be appropriate to serve the wastewater project that we were
Well,
walking.
Well, I'll tell you
And
what.
they never talked about 330207.
Well, we're just gonna have to research. I mean, we have to look back on the file, see what was done in 2011. I guess that's a good starting point. And get back with you, as soon as possible.
Thank you.
Thank you. Here you go. All right. Rip it down. Come on down.
This is not about parties, correct? This is
It's about whatever whatever you want it to be about. It says Green Water Park Septic. So I'm sure you did.
I signed up for all sorts of things, but I thought
Part of it.
when we came down to wherever it is on the agenda for the Hearts thing,
Yeah, it's in
this is just an update for you all on
Mr. McCann.
Phase 5 with the wastewater project. The way this works is we have a total budget that's approved by the DEP, and as we spend money, we make a request to draw down from them. So this shows you the different classifications. Our total budget's 67,888, and currently, as of today, we've drawn down just over $100,000, and we've got 557,000 left. And we just do it as we need it. As we spend money, we do it. Now that it's better weather, we'll be spending more money.
All right.
Okay, any questions? All right, that's it.
All right, thank you. Ryan Jefferson. You're the next one.
I'll talk more there.
Rick, I tried to get a give you a hand.
I'm gonna go back.
I also wanted to give you guys some updates too on phase 5 as well.
Can you hold on?
Sure.
Hey, Rick,
Yes,
are
sir.
you retired? Do you just work part-time? Or
I
you
work part-time.
Okay. Is it because of your retirement?
No?
Okay, I was just asking.
Yeah.
Just a question we had.
It was a decision
Okay,
that I made, but
all right. I was wrong.
What?
I thought you were cutting back because you retired.
No.
Go ahead, Ryan.
I'm retired from WVU Extension.
Right.
I'm retired from the university,
Right. I didn't know.
not from the wastewater.
I got you.
So since last time you guys saw me, I went out to the Plumber Show in Indianapolis, which was really good. I took a lot of classes. You know, of course, the first day they offer a bunch of free classes, which is always good, and I get like certifications in these classes when it's done. So I took a class about trying to learn about soils, because it's important to know what kind of soil you want to use, or what kind of soil you want to put a system in, because certain systems, especially in-ground ones, will not drain properly through the soils themselves if it's like full of clay or like silt or certain types of materials. And of course, West Virginia is literally clay, so it makes it difficult, unfortunately, to put in in-ground systems. But it was helpful for me in order to try to gain more knowledge about possible sites that we might be able to use in-ground systems in the future. So that was a good class. I also took a class about installation mistakes and how to proactively avoid them as opposed to reactively. A lot of the things was, things that I already knew, but some of it was new to me, so that was helpful. I'm hoping to try to use some of this knowledge as we move forward into this, new phase, and we're doing constructions and I'm out on sites. I can look at things and hopefully be able to tell people if I see something that's not correct, or I see a contractor not following certain proper procedures. I can kind of point those out and say, okay, well, this needs to be more level, or things like that. So that was important too. Then I also made some really good connections with people at the Plumber Show, because what happens is after I take the classes, they have an actual show where they get all these national vendors with technologies and things like that come in, and they display their products. You can get like little handouts and things about their products. But for me, the takeaway for me was I wanted to meet certain specific people, since we're using new technology this phase, and was able to meet an engineer for the Renco systems, which is the new technology we're using, and kind of talk to him for a little bit. And he assured me that he wanted to send a representative out from Renco that was a technical service kind of guy that's done this kind of stuff before. So we're actually going to try to host a training with him that any other contractors or DEP folks, DHHR folks can come and learn, and the project can learn as well. So I felt like that was really big for me, is a good goal to have, and so I was able to accomplish that. And I've been talking, in communication with him as we move. I figure what's going to happen is, and I'll get to this once we start. I'll just kind of give him some better dates and say, okay, this is a certain day, and then we'll try to get all these people on the same page so that we're all out there together.
So updates on phase 5 are, now that the weather is getting good, we hope to kind of start, I'm thinking really kind of early April, I'll start seeing contractors start to work. We've had some contracts, one contractor already started on one of the contracts it was contract 4, I believe. It's not completed yet, but he has done some work on it, so that's good. And then, we're really gonna get into the actual digging of the system pretty soon. I started the process of ordering the peat modules. It shows on there, installation supplies, I think is one of the things that we drew down money for. So we were able to secure a place out in the watershed with cameras that will be able to store the peat modules there, and contractors can kind of just grab the modules from there and then move to their sites with their other pieces of equipment. So that's good too. So it's kind of where I'm at phase 5. I'm just gearing up as much as possible, and then we're gonna start it up.
All right. Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you.
Jim Oldacre, Allen Creek Volunteer Fire Department.
I come bearing maps. Thank you, Commissioners. Here today, we have a concern with Allen Creek. It is an ongoing, long-term dispute with the Tornado Volunteer Fire Department. I believe it was came across the Lincoln County Commission for action just about a year ago, I believe May of 2013. They asked that the commission reassign area that had been assigned to Allen Creek for years. That's in the areas of Falls Creek Road, Island Creek, and Cold River Road. We still to this day do not agree. The area's always been Allen Creek's. It was ours for decades before they ever formed. It was never officially assigned to them. And about a year ago, I responded. I was asked by Mr. Holder to file a rebuttal. I sent it to him, and he communicated a letter to the commission then and recommended the commission, affirm that the area was assigned to Allen Creek years ago, and declare the matter closed. Well, Tornado has now went to the State Fire Commission as of February 18th and has asked them to attempt to assign the area to them. Whether or not they can do it, I don't believe they can, but there's some thought that they can. But they're going to take the matter up on April the 3rd and at their next meeting and look at it, see if it does have any merit. I'm preparing a rebuttal, to the Fire Commission. They've also asked that they take part of the area from a Kanawha County department on the other side of their area and assign it to them. So we're all having to prepare a response. But since this is first brought up February 18th, I was notified by the Fire Commission to prepare a response. The Lincoln County LEPC has went on record and wrote a letter to the State Fire Commission saying that the area has always been Allen Creek, so there's no reason to change it. The Lincoln County Firefighter Association, which worked on the current districts that were passed by the commission back, I want to say around '89 or 1990, and those districts, a map was prepared and it was subsequently placed on file with the Fire Commission and with Insurance Services Office. That those were named. And so they're sending a letter to the Fire Commission stating that position. So basically what I'm here is to ask that the Lincoln County Commission affirm once again. They've done so. I have letters when Vernon McCoy was president of the commission, whatever time frame that gives you. I think it's early 80s, stating that that area is Allen Creek's, always has been, and there's no reason to change. And we're talking 20 homes that would be in question. Since 2003, there's been 20 calls in those areas. So there's not a high number of calls. Several of them were just brush fires and so forth. So it's not a high volume area. It's With Coal River Road and Island Creek in particular, it is, all falls within 5 miles of our station, which is, doesn't matter in terms of insurance rating and protection if the station is 5 feet or 5 miles. It's the same. So those areas, there's just, you know, we're talking a half a mile difference between the county line from us and them, that they're maybe a little closer, but still within 5 miles. And there's no water anyway, so there's limited benefit the fire department has as far as monetary impact on the homeowners, because there's no fire hydrants, no municipal water supply. So Falls Creek is the only area that there's any, you know, debate on. And with our sod station, we feel we can cover it quite nicely. That was one of the driving factors in the creation of the substation at sod, was to give us a quicker response time into all the areas in and around Garrett's Bend. So with that, I would like to thank you in advance for a letter of support and ask you to do so. And whenever you can imagine, but we'd like to have it by the April 3rd hearing on this matter.
Just a question.
Yes.
Correct. You all have no problem servicing these people? Right?
Absolutely not.
And it would not improve service doing what the other people want us to do and things like that? I mean, as far as from your point of view? And have you all ever had any complaints from these people to you all saying you're not getting there on time or anything like that?
No, we never had a single complaint. In all these areas, the chief at the time, when they were formed, got with us. They came to us. They never intended it. It's all a scam to try to get fire levy money is what it's about. I mean, I don't like to talk bad about another department, but that's what it's all about. It was never an issue till the fire levy passed, and then here they came.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well,
They're-
Kanawha County doesn't have a
there's-
fire levy.
No, they just rely solely on just a direct contribution from the Kanawha County Commission. The original fire chief there, when they formed and came to us and asked, you know, said we're forming up, but we're forming in Kanawha County. And we said, fine, you know, the county line is the boundary. Their own articles of incorporation, which I sent in my response, may be found or not, but we pulled their articles of incorporation. Their assertion that it was ever theirs or they intended to provide coverage is bogus. Their own articles of incorporation in 1971 with the Secretary of State's office states that their purpose for incorporating is provide fire and rescue services to those areas of Kanawha County, West Virginia, situated in and around the community of Tornado. By contrast, Allen Creek's incorporation papers from the 60s, early 60s, states that their primary work should be located in Lincoln and Kanawha counties in and around the communities of Allen Creek. So, you know, we formed up with full intentions of running wherever it was needed, but their own articles of incorporation validate that the agreements that were put in place when they formed are in fact true. Their assertion that it was theirs and then it was taken away from them is just simply, it's a fabrication.
Well, and one thing too, when you look at this levy money being Lincoln County's residents paying this money,
Yes.
taxpayers paying this money, you know, if we could provide better service or something of that nature, then we might concede a reason they might have their hands in on that money. But otherwise, I don't think, having looked at this thing multiple years as we're talking about, I kind of agree with you. You know, I don't see sending Lincoln County money out of Lincoln County. Let somebody else help us here when we're doing a good enough job with it. Because the ultimate result is you cut down what each fire department would get.
That's right.
And you know, so all these fire departments in the county would suffer. I mean, the way I look at it, I don't know how much it would be, but I mean, it would still be a matter of, we won't have as much available throughout Lincoln County because of this one particular group wanting this here. So as you have said, I don't, it doesn't seem logical and doesn't seem right.
If there was a compelling reason, I would be the first to say we should do it, but it's not. And if the gate opens, I can assure you, there's going to be others come
Well,
that,
I mean, you got
Yeah.
what, you Salt Rock, you can have, I mean, they can make a claim for like.
yeah, they might be
Hurricane
a
or
half a
whatever.
mile closer and closer to
It
3
seems to
homes.
me like you all work pretty well at coordinating efforts between those groups anyway, you know, and I don't know that if you pay one outside the county, as you say, then you've got other groups that's been working with you that's not getting paid, and it's not fair to them, it's not fair to the groups of fire people in the county, because they've been working with the budget as is, and you're taking away from that, so I don't really see, you know, if there's not a problem with the service area itself, you know, why make one? You know?
The original agreements that, because they were down there, we had mutual aid agreements all along, and they're still in place. I'm not about to cancel them for them, so, and, but we would appreciate your all's backing on this.
I would like to, go ahead.
I'm just gonna say, we can't directly, I mean, unless you would, I mean, how would we handle this as a motion?
Well, here's the thing, I think what we'll do is we'll write a letter and we'll put it in, because we're gonna have a special meeting next Thursday to approve the budget, and actually just put it on that,
Okay.
put that in
Well, that'll
that,
work.
and then we can go ahead and it
Because
should
I
have
wanna
a
get
good
it to
amount
them
of
before
time.
we're gonna look at
Yeah,
it, we don't give them enough time.
And we could, and that'll give us time to draft a letter to, and then we can approve whether we wanna send a letter out.
On the bright side, this may finally bring it to an end. This went back 25 years. I don't know where else they can go past that. But there is there's a legal precedent set from up in Hancock County that the Supreme Court actually ruled on, that says that an appointed board commission of the state cannot overrule or circumvent the actions of the elected governing body. You know, that came out of annexation and things like that.
That's a really good rule.
Yeah, I think it is. And, but there is an old antiquated statute that says the fire commission shall establish fire districts. And that's what they're trying to bank on, but I just don't think it's valid.
Well, I appreciate it, Jim.
Thank you,
Thanks for coming
Commissioner,
in.
and sorry for this to happen.